Okay, so what we're going to focus on in this hour or so is a quick review of what we went through the last time I came on a call, which was what does a good performance look like in possession? And we'll then look at one of the key capabilities that influences that, which is timing. And then we'll go into a little bit of depth around the different actions and when you might choose to do each action. So a quick recap. When is the right moment to pass? When is the right moment to um, shoot? When is the right moment to dribble? Before we go into that, what are the key performance objectives? The first one is, can you try and receive the ball as often as possible? Can you be in space? Can you create those passing angles early enough so you get the ball as often as possible? Secondly, how well can you retain possession of the ball? And this is all related to the skills, basically your receiving, your passing, and your ability to protect the ball. And three, how productive can you be? Can you make goals? Can you make assists? If you're further back on the pitch or further wider, can you make good crosses? Can you make successful forward passes, crosses, carries, dribbles, etc.? And if you're able to do all three of these things, then you're going to be a reliable, consistent, and impactful performer on the pitch. One of the key determinants to determine how productive and how reliable you can be in possession is to do with skill and how skillful you are as a player. And we defined earlier that skill is the ability to perform a variety of actions with high degrees of success in competitive situations. And whilst last time we came on the call, we looked at how your off the ball positioning and movement will contribute to your receiving pass as often as possible in as much space as possible. Today, we're going to focus on this bit here, timing. What is timing? Timing is all about how well your decision is in terms of when you do each action. And we're going to focus specifically on when to pass, when to dribble, and when to shoot. So let's do a deep dive into when you choose to pass. You should choose to pass when you're confident of success. You know that the pass will get to the intended destination. And there's three key things for you to consider. One, is there a clear passing lane? Two, is your teammate ready to receive? And three, can you actually execute the pass? And we're going to look at Gatti, the Juventus centre back who ranks as the highest performing successful passer of the ball. He's completed over 1,300 passes this season with a 95% success rate. Before we do that, let's take a look at some examples of when you choose not to pass the ball. So here we can see an unsuccessful pass. The passing lane was not on. And here's another example from a Juventus player who tries to play a pass into the number 10 here. But you can clearly see that the passing pathway is actually not on. It's being blocked by the Atalanta player number 42. And so what he should have done here was not pass the ball and stay on the ball. He's got some time to stay on the ball, or perhaps perform another pass, which there's a clear passing lane to do. Now, another reason not to pass the ball is if you're off balance. And we can see here how the Atalanta player gets the pass back, and it's a really difficult kick for him to do. He gets the pass back at quite some speed, and you can see that when he kicks the ball, he's kind of hitting under the ball, and he can't quite get a good smooth connection with the ball. So here's an example: you're off balance, no need to make the pass. Perhaps make a secure touch, get yourself in balance, and then make the pass after that. And another reason when not to pass the ball is if your teammate is not ready to receive. So here, if we pay specific attention to this player here who's trying to receive the ball, we can see how he does not appear to be ready to receive the ball. And as the ball gets played to the player here who ends up trying to make that pass, you can see as he's looking that he's not peeling away from the defender. He's not dropping deeper into this space here to receive. And so in this instance, should be the trigger that actually he's not ready to receive the pass. And as we play the clip forward, you can see that actually he's not expecting the pass at all, and it leads to a loss of possession. So here's when not to pass. Let's take a look at some examples of when Gatti chose to pass and it was the right decision to do so. So here we can see Gatti, he's looking up and he can see a clear passing lane starting to appear in here. The teammate is ready to receive. Look, there's clear eye contact. He's ready to receive it. And look, he's in good balance. He's not off balance. And as soon as that passing lane appears, perhaps he's just waiting, isn't he? He's just waiting just for this player to open up a little bit more. And as soon as he does that, he then knows it's the right time to pass the ball. And as I play it forward, you can see that the Atalanta 17 goes slightly further right and it opens up that clear passing pathway. And then here again, we can see another passing pathway appearing. And in this instance, he chooses to make a successful pass here. Look, there's a clear passing pathway. He's clearly ready to receive. Look, he's in balance. And it's the correct decision to make that pass into that free player. Let's take a look at this example here. We've got Gatti who received the pass in here, and he's just looking to try to play a pass in here initially, which in this instance could be on. The only difference is that at the moment, where you can see the ball is he cannot execute that pass unless he's the player of the outside of the right foot or his left. He might not feel comfortable in this moment to play that pass. So instead, he delays the action and chooses, okay, I'm not going to force that pass. And you see he's trying to play it, but what can he see? He can see at the corner of his eye, he can see at the corner of his eye, this player here who might be looking to intercept, and perhaps that will lead to a loss of possession, or perhaps he's seeing the oncoming defender behind him, which may lead to an interception. So he's not sure the pass would be successful. So what does he do in this instance? He decides to stay on the ball until a better passing pathway appears. And now you can see that after staying on the ball a little bit longer, he sees a clear passing pathway into the oncoming defender here. And you can see there's a clear line without the risk of interception. And this was a successful pass because he chose to pass in the right moment and not make a pass that was unlikely to be successful. We'll just move ahead of these slides. There isn't anyone here to view, so this was for those that were going to be on the call. So we'll go straight into when to dribble. And similarly to when you want to choose to pass, you want to dribble when you're confident of success. Is there space to dribble into? Will be the first criteria. And the second one is is the opponent off balance? And if he's off balance and if there's space behind or to the sides of the defender, then it's a good decision to dribble the ball. If we're going to do a deep dive into Gittens, the Dortmund winger, who so far this season has completed over 70 dribbles with a 50% success rate. Now, that's pretty high. A 50% success rate with dribbling is a high success rate. When you choose to dribble, you have to understand that there is going to be a risk of losing possession of the ball. But that element of risk is going to be worth the reward. However, by considering these two things, is there space, is the opponent off balance, will increase your chance of success. So let's take a look at this YouTube clip here of the different movements that Gittins, of the different dribbles, pardon me, that he can look to perform. So here, let's take a look. Is there space in this moment to dribble? Well, yes, we can see there is some space in behind the defender here, and you can see that the opponent is slightly off balance, leaning more towards this way. And because Gittins is faking to go this way, that is forcing him to be slightly off balance. So is the defender off balance? Yes, he's leaning to the right. Is there space to dribble behind? Yes, there's clear space to go on the inside and then dribble here on past him. And if we play the clip on, you can see exactly that's what he looks to do. And now another dribble here. We can see, is there space behind the defender to dribble? The answer is yes. Yes, there is. There is some space in behind the defender here. And is the defender off balance? Well, we can see Gittins is pretending to go this way. It's forcing the defender to go here on the inside. A very clever piece of deception that we can cover in another video, and therefore a good decision is to go on the outside into this free space here. And again, we can see a similar example here. We'll give you another example. Now, is there space behind the defender? Yes, there is. There's clear space in behind. I think it's Tony Cruz here. There's clear space in here. Cruz is actually off balance on this side. Gittins is given a fake to go Gittins pretending to go on the inside. But then because he sees Cruz going on the inside, he dribbles on the outside and then goes past him into the free space. So again, look, is there clear space to dribble into? The answer is yes. Is the defender off balance? Yes, he's leaning this way. Success. Criteria met. Good decision to dribble past him. Now, of course, in an actual game, there's not always going to be opportunity to dribble. And the problem is sometimes when you go watch clips of dribblers, you see all the dribbles. So that automatically makes players think when they're playing on the pitch, they should dribble all the time. When in reality, actually, those moments are not going to appear as often as you might think. So here's an example of when Gittins decided not to dribble. We've got a situation here actually with number 8 on the ball. Here's Gittins. Is there space to dribble past him? Well, there could argue to be some space. There's some space in here to dribble past him. But the problem is this defender he's playing against off balance? He seems to have some good footwork here. And he's not quite able to get the defender off balance. And because that's the case, it's not an issue. He recognizes there's not an opportunity to dribble. So instead, he just chooses to make a simple pass back and then try to get into a better space next time. And that's fine, because at least possession was not lost. And here's another example. We've got Gittins coming in here. Is there space to dribble? No, look, there's so many defenders here in the way. it's not a good decision to dribble. If he does dribble, look, it's quite close to his own goal. If he loses it, it could be a big risk. It's a good decision here not to dribble and choose an alternative action. So here is a time where actually Gittins was unsuccessful. Now there might be some space in behind the defender, but you can see that the defender is not quite off balance. So this was not a good decision to drill because you can see that he's got a really good body shape, the defender. His weight is on his back foot. And so if Gittins dribbles past him, if he does dribble past him, Gittins, the defender, will get there. So this was a moment where actually probably was not the right decision to dribble, but Gittins might have weighed his mind. If he does tackle me, I'll earn a corner. So this is where actually sometimes if you're in this position near the goal line, actually worth the dribble, or maybe inside the penalty area, worth the dribble because it might lead to a penalty, it might lead to a foul, it might lead to a corner kick. So these are situations where actually, even if the space or the defender is not quite off balance, it's a good decision um, to go with the dribble. Um, let's take a look at the next few clips. So we've taken a look at when might be a good decision to pass, when to dribble. Now let's finish off with when might be a good opportunity to shoot. And again, similar to passing and dribbling, you should choose to pass, you should choose to dribble, and here you should choose to shoot when you're confident of success. And there's two things that can contribute towards it. The first is there a clear pathway to goal? And two, again, can you execute the shot? And you want to try and rank up the expected goals. And expected goals is how likely you are to score, and it's based off of many years of data collection, based off of what goals are scored from different types of shots. And essentially, the closer you are to the goal, and the fewer defenders in the way, if any, all contributes to a high XG. So if you are in front of the goal with no one in the way, there's a very high chance of scoring. If you're close to goal, but there's a goalkeeper in the way, that chance is reduced slightly. If you're close to the goal, but there's also a defender in the way, again, chance reduced again. If you are far away from the goal and there's lots of defenders in the way, probably not a good idea to shoot because it's probably going to get blocked, unlikely to go in. And we're going to do a deep dive on Wood here. An impressive record over the last 2 years. Really prolific scorer because he takes into consideration the chance of success before he shoots, and he also gets himself into really good goal scoring positions. So let's take a look at example here. Here is a really good example actually of not just Wood, but also the assister. So you can see the player here on the, you can see the player here on the ball, and he's in a he's got a difficult shooting angle here. So the chance of scoring is much lower than if he decides to pass to Wood, and Wood gets himself into a really good goal scoring position. And in fact, you can see that once he gets it, he's in a position where he's literally got the easiest tap in. XG must be 0.9, 0.95, 95%, probably much more of scoring. So good example of getting yourself into a good position to score, and obviously the right decision to shoot. So here again, this is uh, example of a one-touch finish, and here we can see the movement of Wood in a position where he's just holding the run and he's timing the run so he arrives as the ball arrives, and that gets him into a position where when he gets the cross, when he receives the cross, he's just got the goalkeeper to beat. And because he's arriving as the ball arrives and he's just got the goalkeeper in the way, he's got a good, um, he's got a relatively good chance of scoring. Let's try see here. Okay, and here is another one. Um, another example of him timing his movement, creating a space for him to shoot. I can't quite let it load up on this occasion. Let's take a look at the videos on here instead. So here we can see Wood in a position where when he gets the ball, there is a clear line for him. He's in a position where he's just arrived as the ball arrives. You can see very clever movement here from Wood to arrive as the ball arrives. And when he hits it, he just has the goalkeeper to beat without any defenders in the way. So what we can see here is he gets into positions to shoot first time through good, clever movement. Um, so he's just got the goalkeeper to beat with a one-touch finish. Now, one other thing that he looks to do is he looks to try and generate the highest um, when he's in a position here, you can see now that he dribbles past the defender, and now he's one-on-one against the goalkeeper. And here clearly is a good decision to shoot. The chance of scoring is high, 50% chance, and it's a really, really nice finish. Now, this bit is a really, really incredible goal, Messi-esque, if you remember his goal against Arsenal, I believe, many years ago. So here, if he decides to shoot in this instance, there is a defender in the way. You can see that if he looks to shoot here, there's a defender in the way. Chance of scoring is not as high. So how can he manage to increase his chance of scoring? And what he does here is he actually looks to shoot, but then on the inside, and then actually goes on the outside. And now all of a sudden, he's one against the goalkeeper. And this gives him a much better chance of scoring. And it's a very delicate, intricate finish, little chip into the far corner. But he was only able to score because he created and waited for a good opportunity to score. Really, really clever play. And what's better than one versus goalkeeper, one versus zero? Here we've got Wood coming in. Chance of scoring here is high, but we can see that he recognized the goalkeeper's coming out. And if he looks to shoot here, chance of scoring is 50%. Now, because the goalkeeper is rushing out, he's got an opportunity to actually dribble past him. And by dribbling past him, it then leads to obviously a much higher chance of scoring. So, um, here's some examples of from a recent Premier League game between Newcastle and West Ham. And just to finish off, we'll see two different examples. So here's an example of a wide player here. And what does he do first? He looks to shoot. This is not a good decision to shoot. Why? Because there are so many defenders in the way. That if he looks to shoot on goal, you're looking at there's teammates in the way, there's opposition in the way, you're far away from goal. The chance of scoring is less than 5%. So here, the message should always be not to shoot. Wait for a better opportunity. In fact, you can see it gets blocked. Now he gets it again. And this time he decides not to shoot. And this is a much better decision. Instead, looks to try to pass the ball or cross the ball to a teammate who's in a better position to shoot, which he does. And he finds a teammate who's very close to the goal with a good chance of scoring. So really good, clever decision. A second one to not shoot and instead pass the ball or cross the ball to a teammate who's got a better chance of scoring. Um, good. What we'll do is we'll leave it in here for this one. We'll come back in here. Let's just take a look at some key takeaways. Um, the main key takeaway of this little snapshot is if you're going to improve your performance level, if you're going to retain possession better, if you're going to be more productive, you want to focus on the time of your actions and make sure you choose to pass, you choose to dribble, you choose to shoot when you're confident of success. Be clever with your timing. You don't need to force things that are not on, that are likely to lead you to a loss of possession. Be intelligent, be clever, be aware, and then make the right decision based off of some of the key criteria that I've shared with you. Now, for those who are more interested in other actions, like when to carry the ball, I've done a YouTube video on Kvaratskhelia, who's now playing for PSG, but I've done a video when he's playing for Napoli. So some really good insights as to when you might choose to carry the ball, to travel with the ball, even when there's defenders in the way. I've also done one on, again, Modric, about when to pass, and on also on Verratti, Marco Verratti, around when you might choose to stay on the ball. So there's some good videos on here, which puts a deep dive into when you might choose to perform these actions. Okay. If you ever want to get in touch, feel free to message me, email me, alex.burt.coaching@gmail.com. Alternatively, take a look at my YouTube channel. Yeah, until next time, what we'll do in the next video is we'll take a look at the art of deception and the importance of deception to be a skillful player. And then the final one will be looking at technique. Okay, how we can improve technique to make you a really, really skillful player. And hopefully by the end of this series, you've got a really good insight into actually how you can upskill yourself to be a really, really top performer, where you can receive the ball often in as much space you can, keep the ball effectively, and be super productive. Okay, until next time.